Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share a sketchbook spread that I actually recorded about a year and a half ago. At the time, I never got around to editing and publishing it, so the footage ended up sitting on my computer. But recently I rediscovered it and decided it was finally time to edit and share it with you. I've added a voiceover to explain my process as I paint, and I hope you enjoy following along. Before I started painting, I lightly erased some of the pencil lines from my initial sketch. And this spread documents 2 days in October 2024. I sketched both days separately, but I didn't add any watercolor at the time. I decided to add a few days later. So capturing those moments from everyday life. On this page, I included some of the food we ate that day, along with a few simple objects that represented what I was doing. Because the original video was almost 45 minutes long, I decided to divide in 2 parts. Today's video focuses on the left-hand page and runs for about 25 minutes. I'll share the second half in a separate video next week. I began with a very light first wash of watercolor and gradually build up the colors in layers. The mule I'm painting here on this page it was made by my daughter during one of her school cooking classes. So she brought home and we enjoy it for dinner. It included fried chicken, sweet potato wedges, asparagus, and hollandaise sauce. So for the chicken, I started with a light yellow ochre wash, and then I added a bit of burnt sienna to the yellow ochre to create a golden brown color. I also used the yellow ochre more consistent, the paint with less water, so it would be darker. So this create a texture of the crispy coating of the chicken. And I also used small dots and marks, as you can see now, to suggest the surface texture rather than painting every detail. So I don't put every dot in the whole chicken, just a few to suggest. And the sweet potato wedges were painted with a mixture of burnt sienna and burnt umber. Gradually, I did the deepening of the shadows and darker areas of the skin. So I added more burnt umber to create a darker shade of the color. As the paint develops, you notice that I work in layers rather than trying to achieve the final result all at once. This allows me to build depth and create softer transition between colors. One of the other items I included on this page was a laundry basket full of towels, which I'm doing now. It may not sound very exciting, but that day was mostly spent doing household chores, so I wanted to capture a small piece of real life in my sketchbook. For the basket, I used indigo, first as a light wash and then with a stronger mix to define the stripes and structure of the basket. The towels themselves are white, but even white objects need shadows. So adding subtle gray-blue tones helps create volume and prevents them from looking flat on the page. Now I'm moving on to one of my favorite parts of this spread, a chocolate bar wrapper. This is actually my favorite chocolate, and I thought the packaging would make an interesting subject to paint. To capture the colors of the wrapper, I used several layers of browns, oranges, reds, and yellows. Most of the work here is about blending. I started with the lightest color and gradually build up to darker ones while the paint is still slightly damp. Timing is very important in watercolor. If the paper is too wet, the colors blend uncontrollably. If it becomes too dry, you end up with hard edges instead of smooth transitions. Learning to recognize that perfect moment comes with practicing. Even after years of painting, watercolor can still surprise me. It's one of the things I love about this medium. You can guide it, the watercolor with your brush, but you can never completely control it. The water has its own ideas sometimes, and learning to work with that unpredictability is part of the process. The style I'm creating here is more illustrative than a sketch, but that's how I wanted to do it. At that time that I was doing this spread, I was experimenting with different styles. So you see on this spread that I'm creating, I worked with two different styles, and but of course you can do urban style, travel sketching style that is very fast and just a little bit of watercolor and using ink as outline. If you want to learn more about that, I have other videos that explain that, and I teach how to create very quick sketches and with ink and just a little bit of watercolor. The footage you are watching is slightly sped up because the actual painting took much longer. Watercolor often requires patience, applying a layer, waiting, adjusting, and gradually building up the image. It's not something that you sit down and do it very quickly, not on this type of illustration with a lot of details and layers. Now I'm going to use this water-based brush pen for some of the letterings. I bought these pens from Miniso shop, and they are surprisingly useful for small details and lettering. They have a very fine brush tip and can even be blended with water. I might make a separate video demonstrate how they work. If that's something you would be interested in seeing, just let me know in the comments. Now at this stage, I'm painting the orange slices on the wrapper. For these small details, I'm using a very fine round brush, probably size 1 or 2, because I don't recall and I can't see on the video what's the size, but it's probably size 1 or 2. Now, while parts of the chocolate wrapper were drying, I moved on to painting the hollandaise sauce. This is a very good example of working around the page while waiting for certain areas to dry completely. If I had painted the sauce too soon, the colors would have bled into each other and created unwanted muddy areas, muddy colors, and we don't want that, right? As I have mentioned before, this spread is more illustrative than a quick sketch. There are multiple layers, more details, and a longer painting process. If I was creating an urban sketch or a travel sketch on location, I would probably work much faster using waterproof ink and only a small amount of watercolor. I enjoy both approaches. Sometimes it's nice to create something quickly and spontaneously, while other times I enjoy slowing down and treating a sketchbook page almost like a finished illustration. One of the things I would like to share more on this channel is this more detailed watercolor process, creating illustrations using watercolor alone without relying on ink outlines. If that's something you would like to see here, let me know in the comments. At this point, I'm adding shadows beneath the objects. Shadows help anchor everything to the page and stop objects from appearing as though they were floating. For the writing, I'm using fine liners in different colors. Sometimes black can feel a little harsh, so I also like using brown, like I'm doing now. But I also have gray, warm gray, cool gray, light and dark gray, depend on the subject. Now, you probably noticed that the right hand page of the spread is already finished. That's because I worked on both pages and simultaneously, and I moved back to finish the other areas on the left hand side. So because today I'm only focused on the left side, that's why I skipped that, and I'm finishing the video with the rest of the left side. So to finish the page, I added a small tree trunk with the autumn leaves and a piece of the chocolate outside the wrapper. I spent a little bit of time working out the scale of the chocolate so it looked believable compared to the packaging, because otherwise if you make it too big, it's out of scale compared to the wrap that I did the packaging. For some of the final details, I combined ink and watercolor. I enjoy experiment with different approaches in my sketchbook, and I don't feel limited to one style. Sometimes I use only watercolor, sometimes ink and watercolor together, and sometimes a combination of both. As you can see on this spread, I have used both style. Some of the illustrations, they are I only did using watercolor, but others they have some ink outline, like the tree trunk I'm doing now. I did with ink, and then I apply some watercolor, and also on the right page also have some ink outline. For the gold lettering on the chocolate wrapper, I used a metallic gel pen. It was the easiest way to achieve that effect without needing metallic paint and an extremely fine brush. There were also a few details from the original packaging that I chose to leave out. That's one of the benefits of sketching. You can simplify and focus on the elements that matter most. I hope you have enjoyed watching this process and seeing how this page came together. The second part of this sketchbook spread will be coming next week, where I'm gonna show you how I painted the right hand page. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.